Hey brothers and sisters, God bless each and every single one of you. It's Hunter's Point here with another video. The Lord gave me that message yesterday about Lordship salvation. I was going to do a part 2 of that here in this video, but I decided to basically loop that in with a bunch of the other false gospels, and I decided that I would just address a very, very simple question, but a question that seems to be more prominent now than it ever has been. So when you think of Lordship salvation, or the Roman Catholic Church often believes in a works salvation. Obviously, you have the prosperity gospel, what am I thinking of? Charismatic gospel. All these different gospels than the one true gospel of grace. How should we view those who preach a different gospel? How should we treat those who preach a different gospel? And let me just say this. If you're preaching a different gospel than the one true gospel of grace, you are a false teacher. You are a false preacher. You're preaching nonsense. Let me just say that now. And I'm not the only one. If you look here in the book of Galatians, chapter 1, and I'm going to read you verses 6 through 10, the Apostle Paul, he is as clear as you can get here. No other gospel than the one true gospel of grace. So let me read Galatians 1:6. I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Christ unto another gospel, which is not another. But there be some that trouble you, and would pervert the gospel of Christ. So as you can see now, people are taking the one true gospel of grace and they're twisting it. They're perverting it to fit their own narrative, right? The prosperity gospel is a very good example of this. They try to say that the more you give to the church, the better your chances of getting healed. Again, I don't know a whole lot about the prosperity gospel because it's the prosperity nonsense is what it is. I'm so worked up here. I'm fumbling over my words, but this is what happens when you preach nonsense. I get offended by it as a Christian. Continuing on with verse 8, but though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, so I say now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed. For do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet pleased men, I should not be the servant of Christ. So Paul says it twice in verse 8 and verse 9. It's so important that you should accurse those who preach a different gospel that he says it twice in verses 8 and 9. If any man preaches another gospel, let him be accursed. And that is exactly how we should view and treat those who preach different gospels. We should pray for them, that they come to a true knowledge of Jesus Christ, but we should accurse them for preaching nonsense. The one true gospel of grace is 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4. Christ died for our sins, was buried, and rose again the third day, according to the scriptures. That's the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ. Ephesians 2, 8, 9 says that we're saved by grace through faith, and that not of ourselves. It's the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Right? Romans 10, 9, and 10, that if you believe in your heart that God raised Jesus from the dead and confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, you will be saved. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. If you have not accepted Christ into your heart, if you have not believed the gospel and therefore have become saved, please do so. Because the rapture is imminent and tribulation is coming. The likes this world has never seen before and will never see again. So I hope this message was a blessing to you all. I will see you guys in the next video. Otherwise, God bless.